Good morning, Unity. Last week we held our white stone service, and if you were here, you received a white stone that looks like this. The whole idea of the white stone service is to listen to within you that is seeking to express itself more fully. After the service, we got together and we wrote our words on this little poster board to honor and celebrate who we've come here to be. Authentic, spirit, wise heart, peace, centered, be kind, curious, a worthy, self-aware, light-giving, holographic droplet of God. Expansive, action, transition to peace, adventure, tranquility, leap, self-care, soar, serving, forgiveness, love, inspired, sweat it. Yeah, that's sweat. Okay, sweat it. Faith. I had to sweat, sweet, sweat. Faith, strength, centered, calm, giving, self-love, joy, serenity. All of these expressions that we are here to be and to express in our life. These are the words, these are the ideas calling within you to experience and express a little bit more each year. These wonderful ideas of spirit. I had one person tell me that, they had their word all picked out. They've written down, this is why my word is what it is. And then I asked them to just hold it lightly and just be open to what comes. And all of a sudden, a different word came. The word was love. And pictures and images of mothers, family, childhood friends started bubbling up. That person was infused with love and overflowing with tears. This is the experience when we give these ideas attention. When we say, yes, this is what's here to be expressed, and to allow that to express and come forward in our lives. Now, there are times in our life where there are challenges, yes? There are times when there are struggles. That's a part of life. And we see it all over the place. We see it globally. We see polarization within our country, a lack of civility, struggles around us. We also have personal challenges. Maybe we might have a family issue, or we're going through a divorce. Maybe we have a health issue, a legal issue, a loss of a job. But there's something within us and something seems to be happening in life that occasionally pops up. Let's normalize that, because that's a part of life. And it's okay to feel pain. It's okay to notice when we're sad, when we're angry, when we have fear. One of the challenges in New Thought and metaphysics is what I call metaphysics allergies, right? We have an allergic reaction to the idea of anger or fear. We can't have fear. Fear is not the enemy. Fear is simply a feeling that's coming up. And it can be very powerful for us. It can tell us when something is dangerous around us. So we allow that fear, just notice the fear, and as we notice the fear, we can let it go. The challenge comes when we live and let the fear, the anger, right, the frustrations turn into resentment, turn into gossip, turn into the ruler of our life. When we allow anger and fear to rule our thinking, we become subjects to those fears. That's when it becomes a problem. The emotion is just a warning sign. Hey, there's something going on that we need to pay attention to. And if we pay attention to it, there's so many spiritual tools that we have that can help us move through those things, those situations, with more ease, grace, comfort, confidence. But we have to be willing to let go and allow those feelings, these words, to come forward in our life. Most of us live and spend our lives trying to get more, because that's what we are conditioned to do. That's what we were taught. We were taught that our source is out there, that our comfort, that our joy, that our experience of life comes from out there. And so we're always seeking more things, more experiences, something different, because I'm just not motivated enough, so I need something to motivate me out there. I don't want to talk about, the idea of discipline, because I don't like that. So there's got to be something out there that motivates me, that gets me excited about it. So all of these things that we are conditioned to do, because we're not willing to ask the deeper question. What if that power, energy, strength was already within you? What if all of that came from within? that irresistible connection with Spirit, that idea that energy is always flowing within us. We just have to tune into it more. What if we turn to that instead of seeking it out there? Eric Butterworth, a Unity minister and author, wrote this book called Discover the Power Within You, a guide to unexplored depths within. This book is actually a fundamental book for Unity. What's interesting, as I was reading this again, it was written in the late 60s and early 70s. And culture was a little bit different back then. Things were different were happening, yeah? It was a little different than it is today. But if you take away the details of the events that were happening in the 60s and look at the meta, look what's behind it, look at the human condition behind it, it is very similar to the human condition today. 60, 70 years later, we are still experiencing separation. We're still experiencing the same things he talks about. They're just different names and stories. That's human nature. Human nature is trying to push away any of this spiritual nonsense, any of this idea that we're something different, that we are loved, that we are kind, that we are expansive, that we are happy. Pushing that away because we need that, and something out there has to give it to us. That's human nature trying to be in charge rather than serving the divine nature within us. Eric Butterworth says, we are not human beings trying to be spiritual. Rather, we are spiritual beings trying to understand how to be more human in a more effective way. To bring out this spiritual nature within us more consistently. To allow that energy to flow so we can move through life a little bit easier and a little bit gentler without having as much stress and struggle. Butterworth reminds us that spiritual power is not something we acquire, it is something that we awaken to. And it's not about becoming something new or someone new. I think so often we talk about this idea of our spiritual nature or divine nature, and that's a pretty tall bar, don't you think? When we talk about it as Christ consciousness, that's a tall bar. When we talk about your divine self or that spark of divinity, it's like, well, okay, yeah, but I'm just me. Anytime we take one step forward and allow a little bit more of that to shine, then we're moving in that direction and we're expressing more and more of it. Any small step in our life, from going from being angry about the situation continually, every day in and day out, to being angry about it maybe for only an hour. Now, I'll admit, sometimes it takes me more than an hour. Sometimes I need to go on my hike. Sometimes that energy, because that belief is still running within me. I'm angry because... ... Fill in the blank. We all have our because, and it's that because we're ruminating on that's generating the anger over and over and consistently for us. So it's an opportunity for us not to ignore what's happening. We look at it and say, well, I can't feel sad because that's not metaphysical. It's not unity. I have to be happy all the time. And that's not reality, at least not my understanding of unity. It's acknowledging this in life. Yes, I'm sad. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I'm lonely. Yes, I'm suffering. And that isn't the whole of me. That isn't the truth of me. That is simply me reacting to this experience. It's time for us to discover there is more within us than this suffering. It's time for us to discover that this idea that God is out there is a myth, that God is in here is more truthful for us. God is all around us. God is the energy in which we breathe. It's like being in the sunshine on a beautiful day like today and trying to see the light. Where's the light? It's all around us. You're standing in it. You're soaking in it. It's time to let go of that idea of God out there, that power is external, that we are dependent, broken, or unworthy. Butterworth reframes God as presence, principle, and power within. Not separate, not distant out there, not something that's acting upon us, but the very essence of our being, the very energy in which we live and move and have our being. As Butterworth said, it's like the ocean that is inside of the wave. We are not separate. As Jesus taught in Luke 17, the kingdom of God is not coming with things that can be observed, for in fact, the kingdom of God is within you. The kingdom of God is within you. It is present here and now. It is being expressed and experienced. We just have to become more aware of it. The kingdom of God is not out there and will not come with big trumpets and lights. It's here and present. That's what the master teacher taught. It is within each of us. This is Unity's first principle. God is. In case he spoke about this morning, there's only one presence and one power in our lives and in the universe. God. A lot of us don't like the word God. Anybody not like the word God? Because we grew up. It's okay. You don't have to raise your hands. I understand. You may not want to admit that. Sorry. It's true because we were taught that God is out there. Back to the days of the Greek gods out there, different aspects of God. And then one God, but only one God that's out there in the clouds, directing, guiding, damning, blessing. We started to grow and discovered that presence is within us, that we're one with that universal presence. And that was Jesus' whole teaching, oneness with God. And here's how to be that. We're one with that infinite flow of life, love, and wisdom. The Upanishads say this: the ultimate reality is who you already are. You're already it. The challenge is that we look at all of our challenges and say, I'm already it, but here are all the things going on in my life that will say differently. But remember, life is just a wonderful experiment, a wonderful experience of stuff happening. And stuff does happen. It's our reaction that creates our suffering. It's looking as if I'm separate from God, and how do I get more of that experience when it's already here and present? All we need to do is pipe down a little bit, is to become still, to be still and know. The Buddha once said, be a lamp unto yourself. Liberation does not come from an external source, but from awakening to the reality of what is. Be your own lamp. As Jesus said, you are the light of the world. Be that lamp. A lamp is not put under a bushel, but on a post for all to see, so it gives light to the whole room. You are that lamp. Allow that light to shine. The Christian mystic, Meister Eckhart, said, the kingdom of God is within you, and it is nothing other than God itself. That presence and power is within us. In the middle of our stuckness, we have the opportunity to pause for a moment, to acknowledge what is, to acknowledge the feelings and the experiences that we're currently having, and to know that they do not define you. The situation, illness, legal suit, loss of a job, looking for a job, all of those things don't define you. They're just experiences we're moving through, and this too shall pass. So as we see these things, we can recognize, oh, I'm having a reaction. And that reaction is sadness, fear. And that is telling me that I'm holding on to some belief. So what can I let go of? What belief can I do my own little burning bowl ceremony safely in my house? I like to use the shredder. A lot easier. Don't have to search for the matches. I write stuff down. I put it in the shredder. Gone. Have your own shredder ceremony. Then renew yourself with your white stone word. Pull out your white stone and remind yourself of who you've come here to be. Think of it like this. This light within you, if you took a prism and you set it on the table, and the sun is shining on it, the light is going to be reflected by the prism, and all of its different frequencies are going to be displayed as a rainbow. That light that's shining within you is going through the prism of your humanity and is shining that rainbow. The challenge is sometimes we've drawn the curtains. The light's not shining. So it's an opportunity to say, okay, Where am I closed off? Where am I holding back? Where am I shielding my light from myself and others? Sometimes the light is shining, the rainbow's there, but things in front of us that we can't see, that are obstructing our view. We put things in front of us that take our attention away from that light, that rainbow that's shining. Yes? Sometimes it's just cloudy in our consciousness, and the sun isn't shining at all. So it's an opportunity for us, if you recognize that, the discovery is you have the ability to open the curtains. You have the ability to move the things in front of you. And you have the ability to clear that cloudy consciousness by turning within, taking a breath, acknowledging what is, having your shredder ceremony, getting rid of the beliefs and the habits and the behaviors that are holding you back, and allowing that light to shine. Let's move to our affirmation, Felix. We're going to go through this one at a time. And I'm going to speak a little bit about each one. And I put the word allness, the allness of life, because one of our metaphysical allergies is to the word God. You might like to call it isness or the universe. Butterworth likes to call it allness, the allness, and that's what I like because it describes it better for me. We might describe it as love, the harmonizing energy of spirit. We might describe it as spirit, the energy and activity of consciousness that flows through us. We might describe it as wisdom, power, or creativity. Each of those are simply different colors in the rainbow, different reflections and frequencies of the allness of life. So as we're going through this, I have allness, but you may want to use the word God or your own word, and that's okay. First off, God is life, expressing my vitality, growth, and aliveness. The allness of life expressing as me. God is love, showing up as compassion, kindness, and connection. The allness of love, loving as me. God is wisdom, guiding my thoughts, choices, and understanding. The allness of wisdom, thinking as me. God is power, moving through me as courage, creativity, and action. The allness of power, expressing as me. God is peace, revealed in my calm, trust, and inner stability. The allness of peace begin with me. And so it is. The awakening to the principle of God is awakening and discovering that power within you. Let's take that into our time of meditation and affirmative prayer.